Are we live right now or
Yeah,
not?
we're live. We're streaming live.
Fuck it, do it live.
Is anyone hearing this?
Yeah.
Got 68 viewers in
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
In,
you ever see that?
oh, yeah.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Fucking people suck!
This sucks! Alright, we're at what are we calling this? The Breakdown Ben Show?
You can call it whatever you want.
It's the...
So you're the DJ. You're bringing us in.
Yeah, I'm the
here.
technician. Yeah.
All right, well, bring us in.
Alright, push us over to line one.
No, well, you're the host.
We don't have a line. We have no call-ins. Son of a bitch.
And I mean ever, because this isn't a call-in show.
It is not a call-in show.
Would you say it's time for us to smash open each other's and feast on the insides?
Yes,
I would, Ken.
Feast on the goo inside.
All right, come on.
Alright, so we're here. We're with Breakdown Ben. We're talking about Pantera, aren't we?
We're talking about Pantera. It seems to be an underrated band here in this household, and I don't understand why. I'd like to change that.
Tell us why. Explain.
It's basically,
Tell
I'll
us
tell you,
why,
it's
and then we'll
because-
explain why.
It's because everybody hates Phil Anselmo, which is fine. He's not. He does not make the band. He is just the singer, and he has a stupid face. I agree.
It's true. I still hate him. But,
I don't care for him either. He's an asshole.
Okay.
He was a drug addict, and he, you know, and I don't know. You guys, how do you feel about Vinnie Paul?
He's got the same stupid face in every
But he's
picture.
Dimebag's brother, and he was always on Dimebag's side, right?
Yeah, but he's always got that stupid face. You know, he's just.
I don't think he can help that.
Mm.
All right, listen. Okay, Rex Brown. He's like, you don't even see him or hear
No,
anything.
yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He may as well not even be there. Dimebag Darrell is the phenom, the best metal guitar player ever, and his brother's always got his back. Vinny and Dimebag wanted to keep making music,
That's
and Rex was up Phil's ass for whatever reason.
Now, as I
But then
recall,
Phil got into all kinds of drugs and being a fucking moron because he had Super Joint Ritual and he had Down, and I don't know why, because Pantera was like the shit.
if I'm not mistaken, Dimebag Darrell was going to be in Megadeth.
Yeah, initially
But
he
then,
was.
But then he refused to join unless Vinny could come with.
Correct.
And Dave Mustaine said no.
And actually I'm happy
What did
that
Dave
that
Mustaine
happened.
say?
He said no. He just
Right,
they just
But
needed.
how did he
they
say
had,
it?
He probably just said like no.
And I'm happy that happened, because if Dimebag went in there, Mustaine would have controlled him, and his creative.
They probably would have killed each other.
Well, he would have he would have kicked him out, or Dimebag would have left, because he wouldn't have been able to do his own thing, and Mustaine would have. You know, I don't think Dimebag would do well as somebody's pawn.
I don't think so. No.
And he shouldn't. With that creative freedom, I mean, come on.
It's true. You think he had freedom in Pantera?
Yeah, he was the only fucking guitar player.
Well, I mean, like, do you think the other
Yes.
members were up his ass saying,
No.
like, "Oh, play it that way, I don't like it that way"?
No, because he did a lot of work. He did a lot of his solos. Some of them were, some of them were like, they were always long. I mean, it was nothing but fucking guitar work.
That's
His
true.
solos were never short. They were what they needed to be, and they were always good. Like, he had like a style. Starts it out slow, brings you in with the melody, and then fucking tears it up. You know.
Yeah,
And the riffs.
Even
and
their
the Pete.
first
The
album,
Pete.
even their first album, well, was it Metal Magic?
Yeah, it was
I don't
Metal
count that
Magic,
as a
yeah.
Pantera
You don't
band.
count that though, but that was
That was
was
fine.
them.
He was Diamond.
but that
Darrell
was
then.
okay. But
They
that
didn't have
was
Phil Anselmo though.
right. But that was
pretty
that.
good.
That was Pantera,
And
that
you're
was
right,
they
and
were
I-
in high school yet. And you listen to those solos.
Well, yeah.
Hey,
It's
he was,
see,
what,
it's all about
19?
him. He's like
I agree.
he's like a fucking once in a million person that comes
But
around.
you know what?
I mean, he loved Kiss and shit, but he plays like
That's
that.
unfortunate, but you know,
Well,
we all have
buried
to.
in a
Have,
Kiss coffin, but he fucking plays how he plays.
we all have to have a flaw. I mean, that's just human nature, isn't it?
yeah, but early Kiss. Listen,
All right, well, we're not talking
It's
about
listenable.
that.
We're not
Let's-
talking
let's-
about
let's-
Kiss.
Ace Frehley
So,
is nothing compared to what Dimebag Darrell did.
He's nothing, and
He
we're
just
gonna,
had a
we're gonna get
fucking
on to
niche,
that.
dude. You hear interviews with him, he sounds like a stupid Southern guy, but then when he gets into the music, he'd be like,
He knows
naming
exactly
notes
what
and
he's talking
scales and
about.
shit. And I wish we could bring up a clip right now, because I'd bring one up if we
Well,
do we have
but
that clip.
we don't have
Not
the
yet.
rights to that.
no, yeah.
But
We
he
don't-
talks
we
like a
can't get the
dumbass,
rights.
but he knows his
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
He seems.
I think the whole kind of drunk Southerner thing was almost an act. He was a lot smarter than he let on, and I think that was a lot of
Now,
I don't know.
What makes you say that?
because you know, in our let's call it society.
Well, now they came out in the
I
early
think-
'90s. I think
they did.
I honestly think he was drunk most of the time you saw him
He
talk
was
or do
he was
anything.
probably drunk, but you know, it's not really celebrated to be a smart guy in his society.
Unless you're Robert Fripp.
Unless you're Robert Fripp, but I kind of think he's an asshole. And you see that exact... I think that kind of proves
I
my
think
point.
Dimebag was just a simple dude that just had a fucking niche for the guitar.
I think he knew exactly what he needed to know. Let's put it that way.
I think he just had something go... I think he just had... I think it was like... I think he had that pick from that fucking movie.
He had to pick Destiny?
Yeah, I think he had that through to some dude named Eddie Van Halen. I think he had that for his first couple albums, maybe even throughout his whole career. I don't know.
He might have, yeah.
I mean,
He
'cause
might
that's
have.
how good he is.
Do you think if he was still around today, he'd still be playing the same kind of Pantera Damage Plan stuff, or would he?
Well, I
do
don't know.
something
He had
different?
one Damage Plan album in 2004 or 5, whatever that was. I think they would have had several. And you know, eventually there would have been a Pantera reunion for
'Cause,
sure. I think there would have been a Pantera reunion, and I think they'd be on tour, and I think he would still be rocking. He's only 36 years old when he died, right?
Because there was
36?
a lot of people, the guys from Jimi Hendrix's band. They said if he was
Jimi
alive,
Hendrix's band.
yeah, Jimi Hendrix Experience. They'd said, Mitch Mitchell.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, those guys.
Oh,
they-
they're talking about. Are we talking about Jimi Hendrix now?
well, no, I'm just saying they would say that if Hendrix lived into like the 1980s, there's no way he'd be playing Purple Haze at that point.
No,
he'd
he'd
get
have
bored
to
with
change
it,
with the.
and he would do something completely unheard of, and people might not even like it.
Well, it depends
I
how
don't-
Jimmy. It depends what. I don't think he
I
would
don't
have
like
changed
all
that
that
much.
I don't like that what if question.
Well, yeah,
I don't
it's
think
a
he
lot
would
of
have changed
bullshit.
that much.
Too many-
Listen, Dimebag Darrell's never going to stop because his roots were in what they are, and he would have probably always been heavy, always tuned down, heavy solos, a lot of solos, a lot of riffs. A
You
lot
think
of
because the
awesomeness.
same thing? I heard the same thing about Randy Rhoads. They said he was getting, if he lived
Oh,
past
he
the
was
plane
brilliant.
crash. Yeah, and they said if he lived past the plane crash, he probably wouldn't have stayed in metal. He would have done something different.
Probably eventually, like Marty Friedman, he would have.
Yeah.
He would have done solo shit. Well, after a while. After
Yeah.
he was
So do
tired
you
of
think-
Ozzy's incompetent retardedness. He would have done it, or he would have like maybe started his own band, which would have been his downfall because they would have been worse.
That's true.
Okay, you need
Yeah, I'll
Ozzy.
give you that. You need something that can't just be all
No.
blinding riffs, because then where's the balance? to that?
Exactly, because that's what happens with these people. They
You
think they
can't
want to.
point.
They're doing what makes them happy, and you can't fault them for that. You can't.
Can't do
And
it.
and again, they don't care how much money they're making. They're doing what makes them happy.
There you go.
But
Mhm.
that's what makes them happy doesn't make everybody happy, including myself. I don't want to hear fucking nonsense Mixolydian riffs all night long,
I agree. I
But he
agree.
does.
Huh?
But he does.
And that's what he likes to do, so good for him. Dimebag Darrell had a great,
So would
listen,
you say he was making music for himself or for you?
I think he was making music for himself, but it just really was perfect for me.
All right.
All right, let me get rid
There
of
you
beer.
go.
Okay. And
So
then
Ben's
on to the review.
We've had a special request from Ben. Well, I should say we requested it, that he does an album review. He could pick any album he wants. He was going between a Pantera album and he was talking about Opeth, but we're going to stick with Pantera. So Ben, what album did you end up picking for the review?
Well, I had to go with my favorite Pantera album, which is
Well,
Far Beyond
I was
Driven.
going to say, it's Far Beyond Driven.
Basically, like, I don't remember when exactly I bought that album, but when I bought it, like, I was fucking... Actually, you know what? I do remember. It must have been around 2000-ish, right? I was maybe 14 or 15, and that the number 2 track, Becoming, was... it was a song you might hear like on like some sort of an internet thing, It was a popular song, and it was okay. It wasn't the best one. Heavy. I bought the album. Actually, it's funny. Dustin Smith, my friend, he was a poser. He had like the Doors and Zeppelin 1 and shit, but he didn't like any of that. He didn't like anything. He just bought it because it was cool, And he had Great Southern Trendkill, and I put it in my CD player, and I fucking hated it, and I gave it back to him. I later reclaimed that from him and still have it to this day.
Oh, nice.
And he,
Well done.
but anyway, I got Far Beyond Driven from him also, though, and then I gave it back to him and purchased it myself. And I put fucking listen to that album, man. I'd have to say, honestly,
Changed
I
your
heard
life?
Metallica and stuff back in the day, and it was good, but it was good. I mean, Tool was good, Pink Floyd was good, Zeppelin was good, but this was like fucking awesome. This was like above and beyond that shit.
So what was the song on it? What was the moment that made you say, this is it?
I think it was the song "Shedding Skin," probably.
Okay.
Track number 9.
So it was a little deeper into the album.
Well, yeah, I liked it all. I mean, every song except one on that album I love. And the song I don't like is kind of like it's like a Phil Anselmo stupid piece. Not a lot of music. I don't even count that one.
Okay.
But the rest of the album is fucking solid, dude.
So give us a little a walkthrough. What's good about it? What's if there's anything bad about it? What's bad about it? What makes it stand out?
Well,
what makes it
it was their third album, or was it their fourth? It came out in 1994, so I think.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You
Two.
Who's that?
Some girl.
Some girl.
It's Haley.
Who?
Haley.
Oh. Where's she going at this hour?
Only 8:30.
Back on track. Come on.
Oh, all right. I thought it was later. Okay.
Shit.
Well, there's a song, the opening track, Strength Beyond Strength, is like... Well, honest to God, I think it's the first time I heard a really good halftime fucking breakdown, you know? And it was fucking
That's
phenomenal.
pretty specific.
Is it?
It is to hear a really good halftime break. That's like 3 different things.
What do you mean?
To hear a good halftime break, like you. No, keep going. Never mind.
I couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or not.
It's a couple things. Keep going.
What the hell? Yeah, Strength Beyond Strength. There was it was the drums cut to halftime and the riff stayed the same and it fucking rocked hard. Not to, I mean, their first album was like. Actually, it took me a while to get into Cowboys from Hell because I didn't have it first. But the first one I purchased with my own money was Far Beyond Driven.
Do you think that had a part in it that you bought it with your own money?
No.
It didn't even matter.
It just rocked, dude. It
Just
rocked.
good, regardless.
And I remember,
of that.
you know what I do remember though, as being like 15, I remember the album cover being fucking fierce, brutal.
Oh, the drill going into the skull.
Yeah, the drill going through a skull. I mean, how could that not, that made an impression on me. It was a heavy cover, right?
Yeah.
So, as I got into the album, the guitar solos just started becoming fucking ferocious, you know. Some songs had 2 guitar solos and shit. And I was like, this is exactly what I like, you know. And then all my friends knew I liked Dimebag Darrell and shit, and the riffs were heavy, and it was down a step. I mean, you know, it was heavy. And for 1994, dude.
That is true.
Talking Sepultura, you know, Machine Head came around that time, but they were not. Dimebag Darrell is just a fucking. Come on.
For the '90s, for the dark ages of metal, that's an accomplishment.
Nirvana had just come out probably a year or 2 ago. With
It
their big
basically
album.
killed
And now
metal.
Pantera comes out with this fucking. Because Cowboys from Hell was a standard tuning album. Okay, Vulgar Display of Power was their second album in '92. That was down a step and a half, but it wasn't as good as Far Beyond Driven was just groove metal. That was the groove metal turning point right there. No shit. I wish we could bring some songs out.
Don't have the rights. So was your was that? Did you know what groove metal was at the time, or this is awesome?
It was the kind of shit that you hear it just makes your fucking head move. You know, you can't help it.
So it makes it groove.
The riffs make you fucking, you know, and the drumming was good too. I think it was a lot of hi hat action. It fit so well with the guitar, and I think this is because they're brothers. A lot of times, brothers, guitar player and drummer.
That's a myth.
Is it though?
That's a horrible myth. I can't play for shit with him.
Pantera,
that is
Lamb
true.
of God,
They are brothers. That's true. I know
Van
that.
Halen.
Obituary.
There you go.
Those two, the singer and the drummer, the Tardis, they're both brothers.
There you go. But to be fair, you didn't start playing guitar until you were what age?
22.
That's too late.
That's way too late.
Yeah.
I know.
Also,
I wish
starting
I.
at 13, 14.
Even I started late. 13.
I know.
That's not late.
I wish
I started when I
playing
was
guitar.
16, and I wanted to be Dimebag Darrell, man. And I fucking had a sweet poster of him right in my room there with that goddamn Confederate flag guitar.
With the middle finger.
No, he was just rocking out.
Shredding.
Was it above your bed?
It was. I had a lot of posters up.
I know.
Because I was a subscriber to Guitar World, so I had.
I
all
remember
the
you
places.
get
I remember the old
nothing.
room.
With the fucking paneling there.
Yeah.
I used to have my porno up top in the drop ceiling.
Nice. That's,
VHS porn, man. You can't
That's
beat
clever.
that shit. You know what I mean?
I can't see anything. There's tracking lines in the way.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do in the 1998.
Like
Times
again,
are tough back
it was
then.
dark ages. This
Right.
is
God, I'll tell you what, these kids,
They're
On a
spoiled,
side
man.
note, they come on in 2007. You go on there, you can see whatever you want. It fucks you up big time.
We're gonna have kids just like, man, fucked a pig last night, and then it's gonna be no big deal.
Well, and they're not going to be able to have regular sex with a normal chick because she's not going to be, a
She's not-
Japanese girl on her head with a fucking dress on.
Just covered in shit.
That's a drop of a hat. I mean, I think there was a South Park about that.
It probably was, but we don't have the rights to that.
Did you see that one though?
I did.
It's a good one, and it's true. And they hit the nail on the head a lot
It's
of
very
times.
true. So continue. Far Beyond Driven.
I mean, without us being able to listen to it, it's a heavy, aggressive. It's aggressive. The riffing is aggressive. The tone is just. Well, it's tuned down. Like I said, it's tuned down a step, so it's heavy. The riff choice, he plays some inverted chords. The shit is fucking heavy, and it goes real well with the drums.
So what was your benchmark at that time for music?
For
What were
metal,
you-
fucking
what was-
Metallica.
Metallica. So
Yeah.
that was what you were into at the time that you knew.
That was
about.
what I thought was heavy.
Okay, so this was 2000.
This was probably like let me think. This is like 1998.
So your
1999.
standards for heavy, it's like the most recent is Load and Reload. Which
No, my standards for heavy was Metallica and Justice for All and Tool.
I think that was everyone's
and
standard.
Tool Anima. Those were
In
my
metal.
standards for heavy.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
this shit comes out, and it was like, what the fuck?
Do you remember seeing Pantera on TV at all, or
No,
getting rotation on MTV?
never.
I don't. I remember seeing Enter Sandman constantly around 92.
Like I said, that one song "Becoming" was. I think that I don't know if it was on MTV, but I had heard it somewhere. Like
I
it was,
might
it was
have
like their
seen.
hit from the album, if you would.
I might have seen the video for Walk once on MTV. I don't think I knew who the band was.
There was an album. There was a song. 5 Minutes Alone was they had actually that
Yeah,
video for that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And that was on there. That's overall the song's a little weak, but there's a section that for about 15 seconds is fucking phenomenal.
Because if you can believe
and
it,
that's exactly what they're about with that album.
Yeah.
Those fucking rockin'
if
pieces.
if you can believe it, that's a song about Phil Anselmo talking about beating someone up.
I can believe that.
I know it's hard to believe because he seems like
5 minutes alone, he's going to beat up the radio person that wouldn't play them. Is that am I wrong?
It's something like that. I know
that's
it's
what it is. I looked into
it's just kind of him being a dick.
He was just a singer. He's lucky that he fell into that because Dimebag Darrell made that shit. You ever hear Down? Listen, how good is Down? How good is Superjoint Ritual? Nothing.
Fuck knows.
It's Dimebag Darrell
How
was the
did he-
shit, man.
But how did he ever fall into that band?
I don't know I don't know. But he got lucky to fall into that band. And
Yeah,
he's
he
just
did.
another fucking metal singer. Anybody could do that. Anybody. I don't know who wrote the lyrics. I don't really give a fuck because
It's
I don't
probably
even know what any of the lyrics say, and I don't care because I don't care about your angry, aggressive, violent lyrics. I care about those heavy riffs and the fucking guitar solos, and that's what carried that band. It was
No?
it was Dimebag and his brother. Fucking, I could play bass for that band. I could. I could learn to.
I hear they need a bass player.
Well, yeah.
Shoot them an email.
So yeah, but that album really was a very pivotal thing, and it was like that's when I got out of, because I started out with like Pink Floyd, fucking Fleetwood Mac, The Cars, Jethro Tull, shit like that.
That's kind of all over the place.
It's old though. It's older.
It is old.
It's
yeah.
soft. It's
It
classic
is.
rock.
It is. Yeah.
And then I heard this fucking album, and I was like, whoa, no shit, this is like, and that's like, wow. I was like, this is heavy, and this is awesome. And then I bought every one of their albums, and I was like, this is great. And then I started to like, at that time, there wasn't a lot of good shit out. It was like fucking Korn or Slipknot, but then,
Yeah, and it was a lot harder to find.
I mean, in the
Music back
late, around that time, that was the fucking Papa Roach era. You know what I mean?
Oh God. Yeah. It was.
Yeah,
Linkin Park,
unfortunately, yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm saying Iron Maiden and Megadeth and that shit was out there, but I'm talking like tuned down heavy fucking shit. I
Yeah,
did
for
like
the
Black
stuff-
Sabbath at the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but I was only familiar with really the Paranoid album at that time. Because
Yeah.
I hadn't
I'll go with
really,
that.
Then I got into this Pantera, and I was like, I gotta get into them, and I got into them, and I was like obsessed.
There you go.
But then, later on, around then some other good bands started to show. But
So
I mean, I never heard anything, and I never heard anything like that.
There you
Honest
go.
to God, in a Guitar World interview I saw, the two guys from Lamb of God, the guitar players, the album that changed your life.
Right.
One of them was Peace Sells,
Okay.
and the
let's
other
see
one was Far Beyond Driven.
There you go.
So
That's a
put that in your pipe and smoke it.
gotta work on your catchphrase. Yeah, I mean, a lot of articles I read, it's Pantera kind of kicks off the new era of American heavy metal.
And the Pete.
The
Pete.
Pete.
We also don't have the rights to that.
We don't have the rights to that. Don't quote that.
Okay. Are we gonna? Okay. Pantera kicks off.
Well, it kicks off the what's called the new wave of American heavy metal, because in the '80s it was all Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
The early 80s.
The early '80s, yeah, it was the new wave of British heavy
And then
metal.
thrash, the Bay Area thrash comes in.
It did, yeah, around '85. That was the
That was
bigger
the
start
American
of
thing,
the heavier of the heavy, and then
yeah. And then we got grunge.
unfortunately we did.
Honest to God, that's another story.
That's another story. I will say I still have my plaid shirt, but you know.
Should we get into that a little bit or not? Because ironically, I'm the grunt. You know what? Honestly, the more I think about it, the only band I really need from that era is fucking Alice in Chains. Nirvana. Nevermind was good. The album was good.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's
you know,
one of those albums that everyone has. I
I started to think fucking.
okay.
Kurt Cobain is by no means a fucking guitar hero, and everyone wants to pretend
No.
like he is.
No, he's not.
And you know
but
what
he's
made me realize
he's a
that?
writer, and he's a good
Because
writer.
back
though.
in this time,
Yeah, he was.
I was a
more
subscriber,
of a
as I said, to
songwriter.
Guitar World, and there it was. Fucking 15th best guitar solo out of 100. 15. Smells like Teen Spirit. And sure enough, at number 16, right behind it was fucking Mr. Crowley. Just couldn't beat it out.
I don't
Kurt
think that
Cobain's
says.
in like the same vein of like Neil Young. You know, is Neil Young a great guitar player?
No, but he thinks he is. You ever see a video of him rocking out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he does.
he rocked. Yeah.
Always in F.
But
You know
Always in
what?
F.
they're both great songwriters.
They're
Yeah,
great at
but
what
don't
they
put
do.
him in a guitar solo magazine.
Here's
Yeah.
I think that
No
says
way.
more about Guitar World than Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
Because I think
exactly.
everyone at
You're
Guitar
right.
World has
And you
their
know what?
head of
Actually,
axles.
it was a reader's poll.
Oh, well,
there
there,
you
there,
have
that
it.
tells you a lot about the readership of Guitar
Tells you a
World.
lot about the world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, who doesn't love arguing which guitarist could beat up who? Which segues nicely into...
I really think. What's that?
Are you done with Pantera, or are we...
I don't
We're
know. I
moving
mean,
on?
without any clips,
Which
I think I am.
lead
On that album?
metal frontman could beat up
Who could beat
another-
up Phil Anselmo?
Metal frontman?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Dave Mustaine's a black belt in Taekwondo, and he broke someone's leg
But
in the
he
80s.
is. Are you talking now or in their prime?
I mean, the story goes that Dave Mustaine broke the guy from Dark Angel, or Armored Saint, sorry. He broke the guy's leg.
How
'cause
many
he
years ago was this?
This was in the 80s.
Okay.
He broke the
Okay.
guy from Armored Saint's leg because he insulted Lars at a party. And Dave Mustaine broke out his Taekwondo and broke the guy's leg right then and there.
I think Mustaine has a lot of anger.
I think he's still very angry.
Oh yeah, just look at him.
He's just going on Alex
I think
Jones instead
Anselmo's
of...
like a big fucking asshole talker, you know. But which metal frontman do I think would beat anybody else up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Mustaine with his educated fist would have a
Yeah,
hell of a shot.
I'm going Mustaine because, he's look at him, pictures in the 80s, he's a scrawny dude, and then the 90s, he's like jacked for
That's
his
because
size.
he stopped doing well, no, he stopped like in
He stopped.
92.
Well, he stopped like soft heroin. Just
Well, no, he
kinda
had
for the
that.
fun of it.
Yeah, whatever. Are we done with Pantera now?
All right, that's up to you. Are we done with
Yeah,
Pantera?
it's
Without
that's
any
up to
clips,
you.
we're done. Because
Okay.
I can't win you over.
Well, what
Well, that'll be for later.
No, your job is to win us over
with your words? Okay, well, we'll just do some follow-up questions. What's your favorite song on the album?
Ooh, Throes of Rejection.
Okay, why?
Because it's got everything. It's got like a picking intro, you know.
Okay.
He picks through a chord. It's got a fucking killer solo, and it has an outro that will crush skulls.
How long is it? Is it like
It's like 6-7
it's like
minutes.
6-7 minutes?
About 6 minutes.
That's
which
about
is about the average for the
I was
album.
gonna say it's about a standard. What's your least favorite on the album?
Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills, which is the queer Phil Anselmo poetry hour. I don't even count that as a real song.
It wasn't everything before that. It was the adding hour.
I wouldn't even. I don't even count that because that's not even a fucking real thing.
So excluding that,
probably
song,
it would be Becoming, which ironically was the single from the album.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, not ironically, but awesomely, they cover a Planet Caravan.
They do.
They do, and he fucking plays a clean ass solo.
They do. I do know that one quite a bit.
Right, it's good.
And yeah, very clean.
Give me some more follow-up questions.
Okay. He just threw me off by queer ass poetry hour.
Well, it was gay. I don't even know what he's talking about. All of it is a fucking stupid basing. It shouldn't even be on the album. Sucks. Fucking thing sucks.
What's the best part of the album? What's
the best part of the album?
What's the best aspect of the album?
The best part of the album is the goddamn riff at the end of 25 Years, man.
Okay.
It's like from fucking fret 1 to fret 13, fucking.
That was kind of his thing of going down really low and then singing a high note.
This was like he didn't really do a lot like this. It's just.
So,
good.
You like the album because does it repeat itself? Is that why you like it a lot?
I like the album because it's fucking groove metal, man. It rocks.
So what makes it
heavy?
Okay,
and
so
the solos are stupid.
All right,
good.
So what makes it
Stupid
stand out from
good?
The other Pantera albums?
Yeah. No, hang on. Follow-up question: stupid as in good?
Yes.
Yeah. So what makes it stand out from the other Pantera albums?
I think just the crushing heaviness of the guitar tone, really, and the guitar solos. I mean, there's good guitar solos on the rest of the albums, but the guitar solos, and not every song has a solo, by the way, but the ones that are there are fucking awesome. It's overall, it's just the crushing tone of the guitar with the drums. That's what it is. That's what it is for that album, and the album cover rocks. Can't lie, that has a little to do with it.
It's got a. Well, I mean,
because it really had. When I was young, it was like, wow, this is
the first bite is with the eyes.
I know.
So that's the original album cover.
Yeah.
The drill going into the asshole.
Well, this one was fine.
Would you have bought it if it was
no,
that?
That's corny. I would have bought it, but that's corny. This one was better.
You see that? Like, is this going to make me gay? Would it?
That's too much. That's too much. This was perfect, and it's a skull too. It's not a human alive, which would have been gay. Mm-hmm. It's a skull.
That's true.
And the drill bit is rusty, which somehow added something for me.
You know, if it was a human skull that was live getting a drill in it, that would be like, I want to say like Anthrax's first album.
That would have been Cult.
No, Cult would have been like a dead tree in a snow.
You don't have any
field.
more follow-up questions? Is that it?
I'm trying to think of some, and
if you don't have any, it's fine.
I don't. I think we've covered it all.
How long have we been doing this now?
Almost a half hour.
Really?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Shoot, I was hoping to cover some more things.
That's all right. Do you have anything else to add?
Let's do it for 45 minutes. You know what? It's just.
Well, it has the rhythm section. How's the bass and the drums?
The drums are awesome.
How's the bass?
I don't even. It's
stand
there.
out?
No, it's there. It doesn't matter. The guitar and the drums work so well together. I mean.
Don't belch in the mic.
If we could do if we could do a clip, I would.
Don't have the rights.
I know. I would just show you how they work so well together, and I gotta say, Vinnie Paul's hi-hat work on the album is good.
Okay,
like it's very tight.
Excellent hi-hat control.
Yeah, it's tight. They sound tight.
Do the drums compare? How do they compare to the other albums?
Better.
Better? Why? Why better?
It just sounds tighter. Like,
you think that's? Do you think maybe that's their like high point?
No, because Reinventing the Steel had some good drums too.
Okay.
I think that was the start. I think the last two albums were the best drumming.
That was
albums.
Okay. How about the band as a whole? Was it their high point?
That's a great question.
Because they had a lot of practice up to that point. They had what?
I think it was their high point.
You think that's
a lot of people did not like Reinventing the Steel, which came in 2000, and Great Southern Trendkill was 1996, by the way.
Okay.
So this was the middle album.
That's
peak,
a good place to be. That's right in the middle of the curve.
The acme, if you will.
I
the
won't.
apex. It was the apex.
It was the apex. Okay, it's the zenith. The Magnavox.
These are all TV.
He was the Sony of
Sony.
Pantera.
Magnet box. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm done with this. You know what I think we should do? I think we should cut this one off, save it, and have just one more topic for 15 minutes only, though.